What's good, y'all? Marcus Frage from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you could, please hit the like button, subscribe button, also that notification button so that way you can stay up to date with all of my future Teachable Tuesdays videos. And this is going to be the finale of our 2024 recap. And if you haven't been here for the other three parts, just to give you a little bit of information, it's just basically a recap of the things that I've done this year, some of the lessons that I've learned, so on and so forth. So if you have not watched parts 1 through 3, I have created a playlist. I would encourage you to go ahead and watch those parts and then come back to this so that way it can make sense. Today we're going to be talking about October, November, and of course this month that we're currently in. By the recording of this video, it is right before Christmas, so I think we have enough ammunition to talk about, what needs to be talked about as far as what happened on the last quarter of 2024. So to kind of, break the wall here in terms of the cliffhanger I left you guys on last time, or give you a parachute, if you will. I mentioned that my great-grandmother had passed away. This was my stepfather's grandmother, and this was actually my last great-grandparent, period. At this time, I no longer have any more great-grandparents. And it's a weird feeling, it's a blessing to know that I've known my great-grandparents biologically and non-biologically for so long. I mean, I've known almost all of my great-grandparents, truth be told, if I can kind of give you a little bit of a backstory real quick before I continue on to what happened. But, my great-grandmother on my dad's side, she passed away when I was 11. My great-grandfather on my dad's side, he passed away when I was 18. My great-grandfather on my mom's side, granddaddy is what I called him, he passed away when I was 16. I didn't know my great-grandmother on my mom's side. I think she passed away when my mom was a little girl. I also am not familiar with my grandfather's parents or my stepmom's grandparents for that matter. But my stepdad, great-grandmother was, my great-grandmother was really young for her age to be a great-grandmother for real. She passed away at 89 years old. So she still had a lot of life to live. And the crazy part about it was she was pretty healthy up until maybe around December, January last year. That was the first time she had to walk around with her cane. She never had to use a cane in her life. Always got her steps in with walking, was very full of energy, very full of life. Let me tell you something. My great-grandmother was a legend in these streets, okay? She was truly a legend in these streets, like real talk. And I say that because in the Baltimore streets, that is, this woman fought against many forms of adversity, diversity, racism, prejudice during her time. Not only coming up during the time where racism and segregation was a very huge part, but also just developing her own thing. And my great-grandmother, she had her own cosmetology shop, right? And there was a point in time in Baltimore where in the 60s, she had went to, college and everything, graduated from Coppin, and which is an HBCU, in case you didn't know, Coppin State University, shout out to them. And, she was turned down from owning a building because she had the money, and she said, hey, I want to buy this building. And they said, we don't serve your kind of people there. And what's funny is she ended up moving somewhere else, brought another building, and she's literally been there since the, late 60s, early 70s, just doing her own thing, just helping people out in the community, want to get your hair done, looking nice and all that good stuff. She said, all right, you won't serve me, I'm going to go somewhere else that is going to serve me. And she held her head up high, had so many different clients. It's crazy to think that when somebody passes away, you see so many people that speak, well. I mean, they spoke well of her while she was alive, but you see even more people that speak well of her, once she's gone. And I mean, she was an amazing woman, very, very sweet woman. You could talk to her about anything. She was very big on women's rights. She was very big on making sure that you stood firm. And that's one of the lessons that she taught me before I went to college. She said, Marcus, stand your ground on what you believe in. If there's something that you believe in, stand your ground and don't elude from that vision that you have. Don't elude from your purpose. I'll never forget that she told me that. It wasn't right before I went to college, actually. It was like when I came back my freshman year for winter break, and I went to go see the family and visit her. So, yeah, it was tough. I ended up going up to see my family. I didn't think I was going to make it because just the funeral was during the week, but I really wanted to support my stepdad, and I'm like, I'm gonna make it. I know my family would be like, we understand if you can't make it because you're a teacher and it's the middle of the week. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna go up there. So I ended up going to see the family and of course support my stepdad. And they were very shocked that I was up there. And I'm like, nah, I believe I'm a big component of family. That's one thing about me. I'm a family man. So did that. It was a very nice funeral. It wasn't like a large funeral, but it was definitely amongst family members and close friends. Spent a couple days with the family and whatnot, just consoling them, making sure they were good. Especially my stepdad, because my stepdad was very close to my grandma, my great grandmother, or his grandmother, if you will. And by me losing a grandmother before losing both of my grandparents on my dad's side, I know exactly how it feels to lose a grandparent. It's actually kind of shocking that I lost my grandparents before he did, or lost both of my grandparents before he did, but that's just how life works sometimes. While I was up there, I actually had a chance to spend time with my now girlfriend, and this was the first time that we had spent time together in person. Our first in-person date was a farm date, a farm festival, and I'm laughing because, like, the older I get, the more I crave experiences. I'm not a big presence type of person. I will tell anybody that, but I am a big presence type of person. I love experiencing great things with people that I care about. So when she said, "Oh, we're going on a farm date," and I was like, "What? A farm date?" But it was a lot of fun. I mean, we had a blast. We had a thrill. I gotta find some of those videos. Maybe I'll post them on the channel of us just having fun and whatnot. Probably for next year. But we also went to go see Piece by Piece by Pharrell. Shout out to Pharrell, by the way, one of the greatest producers of hip hop for all time. And that was a really, really good movie. And yeah, we just had a great time, just continuing to get to know each other and whatnot. And little did I know that pretty much a week after that, she would officially become my girlfriend. We had sat down and we talked about it and kind of both realized, you know what? I'm not seeing nobody else. You're not seeing nobody else. We really like each other. Why not go ahead and lock it down? And that's exactly, what we did. One thing I always say on this channel about men and women is it don't take long. And if you know that you feeling somebody, say something about it. You know what I'm saying? You never know, that person might be feeling you the same way. And, you can get something popping. So that was October. It was a little bittersweet. It was sweet in the sense, that I had a chance to spend time with my family, and now I'm in an official relationship. But it was bitter in a sense because, losing my great grandmother and losing my last great grandparent at that's always a tough one. Oh, became an uncle. That was another sweet moment. Literally about 2 days before my girl and I became official, I had a niece, or my little sister had a niece for that matter. Her name is Lil Naomi. Well, not Lil Naomi. Her name's really just Naomi, but I call her Shrimp. I call her Shrimp Junior because I call my little sister Shrimp because she's short. And this baby got a personality already. I got a picture of her on my phone as a screensaver. She a feisty little baby. She does not like to be put down. She likes to be held. I FaceTime her, 2 or 3 times already. I can't wait. I'm finally getting, as of the recording of this video, I get to meet her in a couple days in person. So I'm really, really excited about that. Let me see. That was October. November came around, and this is the month where everybody's birthday is just there. So I'm giving my happy birthdays early because, all 4 of my siblings were born in November. And, thank God Naomi wasn't born in November because she was cutting it real close. I was like, yo, you mean to tell me I'm going to have 4 siblings and a niece born in November? And one of my best friends is born in November too. Shout out to Chin. So I'm like, God darn, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, November came around. November, I would say, was pretty chill. Didn't really do too much. We had our final concert in November of the year. Wasn't quite the turnout we wanted it to be, but I think we've learned a lot about the way we go about doing things and how we handle business and trying to figure out a way that we can develop our brand. Also, my EP dropped in November, so that was really cool. Unapologetic. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I lied. It technically dropped in. No, it did drop in November. It dropped at the end of November, or was it early December? Hold up. Yeah, it dropped in November. Dropped at the end of the month. I had to make sure I got my dates right. There's been so much going on. So it dropped on November 30th. Listening party was on November 28th or 29th. With that, yeah, it was 20th because it dropped on Black Friday. But that was really, really cool. I'm glad to be back on the music scene again and releasing new music. It's always a great thing. By the way, I'm going to leave a link below if you want to check out my new project, Unapologetic. It's available on all streaming platforms. Yes, I do rap for all my new subscribers to the channel. Yeah, I'm a hip-hop artist. I know you see a lot of me talking motivational wise. You see a lot of skate videos. Yeah, your boy's in the hip hop too. I do a little bit of everything. I also DJ. Just for fun though. Not on a serious note. I rap on a serious note. I just DJ for fun. But that was that. My girl came down to visit her family. Had a chance to spend some more time with her. It was our first time spending together as being in a official relationship, if you will. We went to a Friendsgiving. I got a pedicure for the first time ever, which I thought that was pretty cool. It was different. It was definitely different. This girl, she got me doing this woman, she got me doing some different things. All right, y'all. I mean, I'm all for it. I crave new experiences, so that is something that I will never, ever complain about. And then going into December and just kind of reflecting on the year, reflecting on things that has taken place. I will say a lot of unexpected things happened this year. A lot of things I didn't really talk about in my recap, only because some of them are a bit extremely personal. I don't mind sharing some personal things on YouTube, but obviously I don't share everything. Just learned a lot of important lessons. And as I always say with my recaps, I'm always going to give you about 5 to 10 lessons that I've learned from 2024. I'm going to give you my top 5, my biggest 5 that I've learned. Lesson number 1, always expect the unexpected. There's a lot of things I did not expect this year. I didn't expect to be an uncle. Matter of fact, when I found out that my sister was pregnant in June/July-ish, I was like, what? For real? So that was none on my bingo card. The same thing with me having a girlfriend. That wasn't going to be on my list of bingo cards either for 2024. But here we are. I'm an uncle and I'm in a relationship. Totally unexpected. Number 2, I've learned not to mix business with pleasure. That has been a big lesson for me. I mean, I've always talked about on this channel, it's not a good idea to date coworkers. I've always talked on this channel also about it's not a good idea to date people that you have business with in any aspect, regardless if it's music, content creation, whatever. And yeah, I did both. I did both. And no offense to those individuals, great women, great individuals, but I definitely learned the hard way. You don't do that. Not a good idea. You don't mix any form of business with pleasure. I still stand with my foot down on that notion. If you're going to date people, my fellas and my ladies, if you're going to date people, don't date people in your workplace. Don't date people that you conduct any form of business with, even if it's a light form of business. No. It's one thing if you and your significant other get into business together, cool beans. But, with somebody you end up having business with and building not a good idea. So definitely learn that. Do not mix business with pleasure. Keep your business business and keep your extracurricular activities over there with your extracurricular activities, whatever they may be. Lesson number 3, I would say that I've learned in 2024, it is find new ways to build financial success. I will say this year has been very challenging in the financial department. Not ashamed to admit that. A lot of different things I've been working on. I want to give a shout out to one of my mentors, Mr. Taylor. He has been, very instrumental in steering me into the right path of financial freedom. And while I'm not there quite yet, I will say that he has been giving me some things to think about going into 2025, different choices I can make, different routes that I can take, and so on and so forth. So definitely got to give him a big shout out. A lot of things that I feel like I'm more prepared for going into next year than I was this time around last year. Definitely a lot of unexpected circumstances, but such is life. You learn from it, kind of knocks you down, punches you in the face. You just get back up and you keep fighting, if you will. Lesson number 4 that I've learned: kids are going to be kids no matter what the level. I finished my first year ever teaching seniors, and it was a amazing experience. And it's funny. My shout out to Mr. Gomez is one of my colleagues. He said that, look, once you teach seniors, you're not gonna want to go back. And he was absolutely right. I don't want to teach any other grade level. I mean, I teach a hip hop course, hip hop through literature, exploring hip hop through literature. I mean, obviously with that, I'm going to have multiple students that I'm going to be teaching. But I mean, even with the class that I had this semester, I had mostly seniors. I had 12 seniors, 2 juniors, and 1 freshman. I mean, and I might, fingers crossed, have those same students again next semester for an extended version of the course. So, I mean, hey, I can't complain about that. Still mostly teaching seniors. And it's kind of hard to go back. So at this point in my life, I'm like, look, I would only teach juniors and seniors. I can't go back to teaching freshmen and sophomores. I love it here. I love being able to construct a curriculum that goes at the pace that I feel is appropriate for my students. And that's what they need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. And lesson number 5 that I have learned, and this is a big one, and this is not just necessarily just towards people, but this is towards old habits. This is towards anything in general. Let your past be your past. All right? The past is the past for a reason. I know I talk about that all the time on this channel, but I think it hit me really hard this year to be able to look at things and be like, you know what, Marcus? Yeah. Thinking about not even just with people, but with myself, old habits that I had that I found myself going back to, revisiting, just out of comfort, and me slowly but surely realizing, hey, man, that ain't the way to go. That's not how you want to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you want this, that, and the third, and so on and so forth. You wish it could work out like this when it comes to situations. No, it's not how you should be operating. Your past should legit be your past, and let it stay there, because there's a better future off on the horizon waiting for you if you could just learn how to let bygones be bygones and let whatever happen stay there. So those are my 5 lessons for 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about the recap series. Again, if you happen to just say, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and watch part 4, and you haven't watched parts 1 through 3 yet, just go ahead and check them out. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. I'm hoping that my recaps and my lessons, can help somebody, because that's the reason why oftentimes I get personal on this channel, because this is a very personal channel. Again, I don't tell y'all all my business. I might only tell you maybe 10%, if anything, of what really goes on in my life. But I use that 10% in hopes that it can help encourage other people. And you might not necessarily have to follow the things that I do, because maybe the things that I do are not for you, and that's perfectly fine. But it might be for somebody that you may know. That's why I always tell people that, hey, this lesson may not be for you, but I can guarantee you somebody that you may know might need what I have to say. So Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. We have a couple more days left of 2024. Let's make it wonderful. Let's keep this daily December going. And as always, I love you guys. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Till next time. Peace.